Hello everyone, it's been a while but I'm back now with some Path of Exile. I'm actually playing this on Xbox, but everything I'm about to show you should be true for any console actually, so without any further ado, let's get into it. So first of all, this is just kind of a quick how to play Path of Exile, because I've seen a lot of guides online where the people demonstrating have been playing on a PC and they're all like, I'll press the Alt key for this and press this key for that, and obviously we don't have that option on the Xbox or even on the PlayStation. So let's just kind of go over how to access things, how they work, and how to do the things that you need to do. So first of all, on the Xbox at least, if you press the I don't know what you actually call it, the leftmost button with two squares on it, you get this radio menu pop up. You can move around the options with the right stick, and let's start with the first one, which is character. So in here now you can kind of get an overview of your character. You can see how much armor you've got, evasion, mana, energy shield, life, all of that good stuff. And you can you can scroll down here and see what's going on. You can also press the right stick in, and then any of these words are highlighted, you can click on them and see more information about them, like that. Yeah, so just to repeat, you move over with your left stick, you press the right stick in, you choose one of the underlined words, you press A, and then you can see some more information about it. And I could keep doing this, I can keep clicking and reading and reading and reading. So that's how you do that part. Of course, getting back out is a longer journey. One thing actually that's worth mentioning while we're in there, let's pop back in there for a second, is you can do the same over here on your equipment. If you move the cursor over it, you can basically see the stats for the weapon that you're using. But if you press your right stick in, I don't know if you can make that out, but very faintly on the left hand side you can see whether something is a prefix or a suffix, and on the right hand side, I've got it highlighted here, you can see the tiers that particular stat applies to. Obviously having a higher tier means that you've got more potential there with that particular stat. So if you're ever comparing weapons or armor or any actual thing that you're going to wear on yourself, this is a quick way of telling if it's a good upgrade or not. Basically just have a quick look at the tiers, and if the tiers are higher than the one you've got, then there's a good chance it's probably worth using some of your gems or orbs on to upgrade it. Okay, what else is useful to show you from here? So we can drop into our passives, and this is that famous image that you'll see all over the place where it's kind of mind-boggling just how much stuff is here. But as everybody keeps saying, I mean, as you can see, I started with this branch. I actually can't select any of these right now. The requirements aren't met. So essentially all I can do is continue down here, maybe branch off to the side a little bit if I want to. Yeah, but I can't really, at this stage where I'm at right now, get too excited about it. Later on, you'll discover some things that will allow you to pick something that's somewhere like way over here, say for example, and be able to utilize that through like a weapon or a gem or something that you gain that gives you their ability. But at the beginning, I mean, you're essentially on this little branch that you've got, and to be honest with you, I think if you just kind of follow it down and just pick the stuff off there that's going to be useful for you, you're going to be fine. Yeah, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. I know it looks like a lot, but you don't really need to kind of be too concerned. Other things you can see over on the right corner, you can see that I've got one skill point to spend. You can see that there are weapon sets over there. That means that if I was dual wielding, I could apply that one skill point to just one particular weapon set. So for example, let's say right now I'm using a crossbow, but let's say I also had the sword and a shield. So I could select weapon set 1 and apply this skill point to physical damage or melee damage that's specific to the sword and the shield. Or I could go somewhere and say apply to I can't speak anymore. Apply to projectile damage, which would be only applying to the crossbow. I'm single wielding at the moment, so I'm not worried too much about the weapon sets. I'm just applying the stuff here in general. So that's my take on it. You can do whatever you feel there, but that's another way to do it. You can also, rather than using the radial menu, come here and go through those same tabs up here as well. That's another way to do it. Let's pop back over to the passives for a second. If you press the right button in, you can get information on whatever's underneath the cursor, so you can kind of see what's going on there. And just like on the character screen, if you press A, you can read more details. Oops, actually you didn't want to drop out of there just yet. If you press Y, you always return yourself back to the center, so if you did go off exploring, you don't have to scroll all the way back, you can just press Y to get back there. If you press the left stick in, you can search for something. So let's say for example I really want to find all the stuff about grenades, so I can just put grenade in, go over, and it should highlight, as you can see here flashing, it highlights all of the skills down here that have some effect on grenades or will help me with grenades. Okay, so let's pop out of there for a second now and go over to skills. Now skills, these are things that you can learn and level up, just like with anything else. When you're playing, you're going to find skill gems, so you can apply those skill gems that will give you that ability, and you can find support gems that will improve or add effects to it. And just so you know, you can move your cursor over onto a particular skill, you can select it with A, and then you get this pop-up menu. And in here now, you can choose to manage the gems that are socketed in there with that skill, or you can set skill, or you can set attack in place. If you are dual wielding, you can actually define here which weapon or which skill is assigned to which weapon. So then you can basically, if I had a sword with a lightning attack, let's say, and I wanted to use that lightning attack, I could set it to always work with the sword, so then I wouldn't have to switch weapons to use it. Attack in place just means I'm always going to stand still when I'm using that particular skill. Something else that you can do in here, you can get advanced info, which is kind of good because it shows you some more details. Oops, sorry, I was scrolling through the skills there. It shows you some more details about the actual skill itself, the damage it's doing, what additional benefits it has, critical hits, you know, all the stuff that's kind of useful to be aware of. What else could I show you over here? If you do set skill bind, that means you can actually choose where on your, I don't know what you want to call this, let's call it a dock, where on your dock you're going to assign the skills to, so you can have that set up. As you can see, I'm missing one on Y, and that's actually because I changed my explosive grenades to gas grenades. So let's just actually assign those because I will need them. And all you do is you select the skill, select the slot, and then just press A to assign it, and that's it, you're done. As you can see, I've got 2 bars down here, and this is my main bar. This is the bar that you see on the screen all the time. And as you may notice, there's this little pair of arrows over here that kind of looks like a recycling arrow. That means that every time you press the left trigger on the controller, you will call up this second skill bar or toolbar, whatever you want to call it. And so then here you can assign a next array of skills that you want to use, something that will be useful for you. As you can see, I've already started doing that. I actually have this in here, or I had this in here because I was messing with the idea earlier on of having dual-wield weapons, but I've since decided to stick to the crossbow, so I can actually probably remove that. And to remove something, you just press Y. And now if I want to put another skill there, I could just press A. Here's a list of all my skills, and so now I can just scroll through and find something that, you know, I'd like to put in. So let's say, I don't know, actually I think I've got everything assigned currently. Well, let's say I wanted to punch, you know, I can just select punch and put it in there. And that's it now. If I hold down the left trigger and press A, I will punch something. Not sure that's going to be useful at this stage, but you never know. But obviously I'm going to change that later. Okay, as you can see as well, I have this Herald of Ash here. That is actually something that you can get to once you have some spirit. I don't want to spoil the game too much for you at this stage, so I'm not going to talk too much about that right now, but just basically when you're fighting some of the bosses, you'll get spirit as a reward, and when you get that spirit and you have a spirit gem, you can essentially create yourself a skill like this that's a kind of persistent buff, like an aura. And this particular one means that, well, you can read it right there actually, what it does. So, and you can get multiple of these as well, and as you can see, they've got sockets next to them, so you can also socket them and improve them or modify them as well. Okay, over here with the armor, it's pretty much what I showed you before. You can press A to move stuff down into your inventory. It's a bit clunky compared to doing it with a mouse, but you know, you can do that. You can press right stick in and then highlight some of the words and read more detail on them, as well as here, as this is a unique, the tiers are all unique, as you can see. But on another object, if I press it in, you can see here this is a tier 1 ring, so I really probably need to think about replacing this. Okay, so what else can we do from here? This is the inventory, that's where we just were, so that's just a quick way to get to it. Excuse me. Over here you have cosmetics, so if you bought anything from the shop, this is where you get to apply them. Skills we've already gone over, and this is just a quick way to get to that section I was showing you just now, where you can bind your skills to a key or a trigger on your controller. Okay, if you hold down the right side menu button on an Xbox controller, it's the one that's sometimes called the hamburger menu, or the 3 stripes, then you get another set of options. And you can see here, these are kind of more the game options, the shop, and some of the social options. Yeah, the escape menu is just basically so you can leave the game. I can go over here and, you know, find my friends, invite them to party with me. I can join a party, I can see who's in my party. This is also the place where, if you actually have a party member, you will see their portrait here. You can come and click on the portrait, and then if you press the right stick in, you'll get a menu, and one of the options there is like, I don't remember the exact wording now, if it's teleport or travel to, and that's a quick way you can get to your party member if you're playing on the same map, but you know, they're somewhere else. Okay, otherwise left stick is move, right stick is aiming, B is dodge, oops, and that's pretty much it actually. There's I don't know, there's not much else to do in terms of basic stuff. Kind of interesting that I've managed to roll outside like that and I can just slide along. I guess that's a glitch. Interesting glitch as well. I wonder if I can get back in now. Oh, yeah, I can. Okay. Well, that was an interesting one. Okay. Just maybe one other thing to point out. Whenever you are in a town, I mean, this is obviously kind of exception here as we're in a caravan, but whenever you're in a town, you will have shopkeepers like this, and you can go up to them, press A. Unfortunately on PC as there is this option that you can just hold down the Alt key to skip some of the options, like for example there is a character called the Hooded One. You'll get to him later on in the game. He can identify items for you, so if you find something and you don't know what it is and you don't have the scroll of identify, he can identify them for you. On a PC you can just walk up to him, hold down Alt and click on him, and he'll immediately identify them for you. Unfortunately for us, I haven't found a way to do that, so we just have to press A and then press X to identify things. With these other shopkeepers, you just walk up to them, press A, press X, and then you're in the shop and you can buy whatever you have the money to buy. Whether you can use it or not, that's a different matter. You can see some of these things that are red, it means I can't use them. And if you look, some of the text is red as well. So for example, to use this bowl, I would need to increase my dexterity to 38, so my dexterity is too low at the moment. But anything blue, or I don't know what other colour, green, then you can basically just buy it and use it. And if there's something you want to find in here, then just like earlier, you can come here and you can filter down your search. So for example, if you wanted to find only items that had a quality setting on them, you could do that. And if you notice now, everything's a little grey, so that means there's nothing the shopkeeper has at the moment that has a quality stat on it. So, you know, there's nothing here that I could buy to salvage for quality. Okay, there's a well. Wells are used for refilling your flasks. The waypoint is used for travelling to different locations. There's not much to see here on this particular map because I've just started. As you can see, I've got a lot to do down here, but at the bottom you can see there's an Act 2 and an Act 1 tab, and if I click on Act 1, give it a second, then here you can see how I traverse the map. Okay, and as you can see, there are some skulls around here. These are boss encounters. Anything with a plus next to it like this, that will give you a permanent buff of some kind. Like as you can see, for example, this is the guy where I got my spirit from. This guy here gives you plus 10 to cold resistance. So it's really worth kind of seeking out these encounters if you can. It's definitely going to improve your character, and at the very least you're going to get experience for doing it. And I would strongly suggest that you try to do all of these encounters if you can before you go take on this boss over here at the end in the manor, because it will help you with defeating him. Okay, let's go back over to Act 2. So I think that's pretty much it for the basics. That should be enough to kind of get you going now and get you started, and hopefully you'll have just as much fun playing this as I am. So okay, that's it for now. Hope this helped you. Take care and look after yourselves. Bye for now.